And it really does suck massively. Alright, so we're back, and this time we've got Viper on the flank, which I'm actually a little bit more happy about, as from a streaming and caster sort of perspective, that is going to be much better and more entertaining to watch than watching someone in the pocket boom. Of course, the map, Land of Lakes, and this is game 1 as well, between TyRanT and CKF right here. Now, I'm really hoping that we don't get another restart right now. Obviously, they do delay things, and it is a bit annoying, but they do have up to the 5-minute mark to actually say that they want to do a restart. So, I mean, it could happen anywhere between now and then. But of course, bear in mind, players, or teams even, do have limited restarts, and if they use them all up, then they're not going to be able to use them later on when it really might call for it. So they do have to use their restarts wisely still. Alright, so as I was saying before, we've got Mongols, Chinese, and Byzantines, and of course these civs are mirrored, but this time we do have Viper in the flank position. Now, as I was saying as well before, I didn't quite get to finish, Land of Lakes is a very sort of awkward map. You really have to scout well on this map, because you might find that you are actually joined. I think in most situations on Land of Lakes, you are actually joined to your enemy. The question is, where are you joined? There are so many little pockets of water scattered around. Finding the route to your enemy can be a little bit awkward. Of course, Viper and everyone else, they are going to be scouting around their base to begin with, finding their sheep, collecting their resources, maybe even luring in their deer like Viper was doing last time. In this situation, though, he probably won't spend so much time luring deer in. He'll want to explore his opponent, as he is on the flank position. I did read as well in the last game that Doubt, Viper, Jordan, they are thinking of going for a full water control. And that could mean that they wall up. And when you think about it, the TyRanT guys are much less likely to be doing heavy walling as the Chinese. We see it very often, where the Chinese players like to wall up and play for the long game, and maybe even include some slinging in there. But Viper and Team TyRanT are much less likely to be going for a full wall strat. But if they're planning to go hard on the water, then that may actually not be the case at all. Doubt saying that maybe they're going to re. I kind of hope that they don't, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. There really is no way to know. Of course, Doubt in the pocket position here, really important that he has a really strong economy for this game. He's playing as Byzantines as well, and of course the Byzantines, with their cheaper upgrade time, cheaper upgrade cost, does mean that they are really, really good for booming in pocket position and then making cataphracts and really strong army later on. As I said earlier though, Viper, well, I thought actually he would go and explore the map a little more, as obviously being in the flank position, don't want to spend too much time luring in these deer, but he is going to lure them in quickly first before taking sheep, and I think that's actually a good idea. I mean, that food boost is kind of really going to help him out. And I can't see any berries either, so, I mean, oh, they're at the back here. I don't know if he might mill them later on, but of course, you wouldn't want to mill these deer if they're in such close luring range, I suppose. 5 villagers on wood right now, so kind of expecting a water build here. His dock already going up at the back, and we'll see a few fishing ships out of him, and then obviously up to feudal. And now, if he is going to be grushing, then getting a really fast feudal time is very important. He can always wall up a little later on. It's highly unlikely in this kind of game, where there's so much on the line, that the CKF team are going to be doing any crazy forward strategies or anything like that, which is not good. Apparently the stream is a bit laggy. I hope it's not. I'm just going to check that really quickly. Hopefully it's not lagging for any of you. If it's in the really high quality, maybe it will lag. I'm not sure. And you should have in-game sound. Bear with me a moment on that. Yeah, you should have in-game sound as well. Obviously, I can only read the comments a little bit later on, because there is a bit of delay on the stream. So any of your comments that you're saying now about lag and things, I'm only just getting them. So hopefully, you know, if there is lag, change the quality down a little bit from source maybe to high or medium, and hopefully that will fix your issues. As far as in-game sound goes, I can turn that up slightly. But obviously there is going to be a bit of in-game lag because of the pings between the Chinese players and the European players. That's going to affect like command lag and such. As we can see as well though, back to the game, Viper just about to take his second boar, and you see how the lag affected that there. He should not have lost that villager, saw so much health on that villager. Tried to block it with this villager right here. Looks like he could lose it. Yeah, that's a dead villager for the Viper. And literally, as I was saying about command lag, that is when the Viper loses his villager right there. And mostly due to that command lag. So you've really got to take that into account. And I think in this situation, the Chinese players are much more used to playing with the command lag. Much more used to it. As they do tend to play, a lot more with players who are further away. So when it comes to playing big team games like this, where there's going to be a lot of command lag involved when playing with people from across the world, you can kind of expect that the Chinese players would be in a little bit of a better position. Viper just getting housed there. Actually, nah, he just had a house going up somewhere. But as you can see, he is walling up at the front, and slightly unusual sort of strategies for the Viper there to be walling up. We can see Paladin scout. That could be Paladin on the flank, though not sure. And it seems now this is a little risky. If they go for a grush, like a full grush, which it's not going to be the case because Viper's still taking a lot of food right now. He's not moved all of his villagers over to wood. It can be risky because, of course, these are lakes and they may not be joined at all to anywhere else on the map. So if you did grush this lake, for instance, you could find it's not linked to anything else. Might be a bit pointless. Viper taking lots of food, taking the last of his deer, and he's still not gone up to feudal yet. Walling up, and it looks like he's going to go for a fast castle, which is a pretty, I think, good strategy for this map. It is an easy wall if you can find out where you need to wall, and going for feudal pressure, it's going to be very risky, as it can be a very easy wall for your opponents as well. So going to go 30 pop and even 31 or more, as he is still adding in villagers right now. 3 villagers over to gold. And he's not had to seed a single farm just yet, which is always good. Saving himself a little bit of wood there, and that means he can get those fishing ships out as well. And walling up at the bottom also. So yeah, he's going to be walling up, fast castling. The question is, what's he going to do after that? Well, he's playing as Mongols, so I mean, we could see from him crossbows in the castle age. We could see from him knights in the castle age. Either or, really. And once he gets up to Imp, he is undoubtedly going to be going for those Mangudai. Now, it depends who's sort of on his flank. If he's against the other Mongol player, then of course he's just going to want to get an eco lead and go for Mangudai as well. Probably adding in a lot of siege. But yeah, I've got a feeling this game, judging by the way it's going so far, it's kind of going to go to the late game. And it seems like Paladin Scout is actually walled into his base right there. As I said earlier, guys, Barbecue isn't here because his internet was playing up. I'm not sure why, but for some reason it was a little bit laggy between us, so we had to stop with that. So Viper now just putting down a barracks, and when he goes up to feudal, he will put down his blacksmith, and then we'll see what he goes for. Is it going to be an archery range? Is it going to be a stable? And that's going to give us a good idea where he's sort of heading, what he's thinking with the rest of this game. As you can see, 6 fishing ships down here. And again, it can be a little risky to build too many fishing ships here as well, because if this is actually joined, then this lake's going to be tiny. He's not going to have many big fish, and it is joined. So he's going to make the most of these. But, you know, if this doesn't carry on much back here, then these fishing ships kind of not in the best position. They're going to miss out on some fishing, and he may have to, well, he will eventually build fish traps with these instead of having them idle. So this lake actually isn't the best for him. But yeah, up to feudal right now, stable going down, and blacksmith, so we're expecting that we'll see knights from him. And he can click up to castle in actually a nice time. It's going to be about 13 minutes and a little bit, depending on how many villages he gets out here. He'll go for another one, and then he's going to go up. Doubt up to feudal as well. Who else is up? We have Tim up to feudal first, Paladin up to feudal as well, so 2 both in feudal, and oh, this is nice. Paladin in there with his scout. He's going to lose his scout almost. 3 HP left on that, but managing to snipe a weak Viper villager. And obviously Viper here didn't actually make any farms, so there are a few weak villagers laying around. This one here, for instance, could be an easy pick for Paladin if Viper doesn't attack in time. as well as, well, that's about it. But Paladin with a nice harassment there, managing to pick that villager. And now he may just decide to suicide his scout in favor of killing this villager here. But if I was Paladin, I'd kind of use it for scouting as it's meant to be, and keep an eye on exactly what the Viper is doing right here. He's already clicked up to castle, as you can see, and Doubt saying he can sling for a faster castle, or for a faster up to imp, most likely, if they need. Obviously, Doubt in the pocket position here, and I think in the pocket position in this game, I think sling is actually a pretty reasonable strategy, because the map is so sort of awkward to get around that getting to the pocket player is very, very tough in a lot of situations if they wall up well. So the pocket player, pure boom with a little bit of sling, could actually work out really nicely in this game. So we'll see how that one actually goes. Viper is up to castle, as I said, and I'm kind of hoping at some point he will get cartography so we can see what's going on with the rest of it. And I'm just checking the chat real quick. Yeah, you just need to lower the quality on the stream a little bit more if it's lagging for you. It was lagging for me when I was watching it back, so I just stopped my stream there. Viper trying to pick a villager, he got it as well. There's one apiece. He was like, you shit on me, Paladin, I shit on you. And yeah, managing to pick one there. Kind of funny, actually. It's like both of them just died in the same place. There we go. Viper up to castle. First one to go up. And putting down TCs. 2 TCs straight off the bat. And not actually making any military. Now, one thing he could do on this map is make a transport some knights across. It looks like if he built a dock on this side, it looks like he could transport over here. He could probably get over that gap and or over that little bit of land and drop into Paladin's base. But it seems like right now their strategy is actually just a boom and go for a sort of a boom with a reasonably fast Imperial here. Viper not making any military at all. No dock on this side either, and we'll have to wait and see if Paladin in this situation is going to try and get some pressure onto the Viper by busting down these walls. The thing is, if he does do that, it can be very easy for the Viper to wall behind it. And so for that reason, I kind of think that if you are going to make an attack in the castle age on this map, it's probably best to attempt a landing. Okay, so just booming up right now. 3 TCs up straight away. Paladin also up to castle. Doubt up to castle. Jordan up to castle. And Doubt just managed to kill Paladin's scout right there, so no scouting information for him. We can keep an eye on what Paladin's doing thanks to the Viper's scout over here as well. Going to be doing exactly the same by the looks of it, taking 2 TCs straight away. And Paladin making some camels. So perhaps he's actually expecting a little bit of aggression from the Viper. We can see as well his 3rd TC going down there, and perhaps we can expect to see some aggression from Paladin. He's making a couple of camels now. Maybe that's just for defensive purposes. Of course, camels, terrible raiding units as they die so quickly to TCs. But keeping an eye on Viper's stable. No upgrades coming in, no units being created, and literally just a boom at the moment. And I think, as Doubt said earlier, he can sling for a faster upgrade. And that could be the case. We could see some resources coming in from Doubt very soon. And I imagine by his score right now, he has got a lot of fishing as well. Checking these fish at the back, Viper's actually managed to find a few more big fish, which is useful. These guys don't want to be idle at all. And the fish really do give a big boost to your economy. 4th TC for Viper. So yeah, he is going to go boom up to him. And then likely, I imagine, we'll see Mangadai mixed with Hussar. Of course, that sort of classic Mongol combo. Of course, their Hussar's really strong. And of course, the Mangadai, such a really powerful, unique unit. So that is exactly what we're going to see right here, I feel. And, you know, for now, there's not really going to be so much to talk about specifically. We can kind of speculate a little bit about what's going on the other side of the map. So we have a look. We have got, of course, Chinese in this game. And Jordan, Chinese on the other flank for TyRanT. But we don't know who is the pocket player for CKF right now. It could be Tim. It could be PBTD. And until we have cartography or any scouting, we're not going to know. And of course, we don't have cartography. Viper doesn't have a market, and I can't imagine he will be getting cartography anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, obviously Byzantines in the pocket position, as I said, are going to be pretty good. They can go up to Imp fairly fast, as they don't need so many resources to go up. The Imperial upgrade for them is cheaper, and that of course means that they could sling and still do a reasonable Imp time. So if Doubt is doing that, that could work out well. But judging by the score here, we have a quick look. It looks like Jordan may be under a little bit of pressure. Either that, or he's having a very bad start. But dropping down in the score to 1,860, and that is fairly low in comparison to the rest of the guys in this game. Could be the case that he's up against some trouble from, I know, Tim, Paladin, D. It could be any of, well, not D, sorry, Paladin. Could be D or Tim, giving him a little bit of trouble on that side. Of course, speculation only. But as we see right now, Viper getting down with the stone mines, and he's going to be getting up a castle pretty much, well, as quickly as he can when he gets up to the Imperial Age, if not before, definitely before, because he wants to get the upgrades. Of course, the Mangudai are the unit in the game that requires the most upgrades. So in order to fully upgrade your Mangudai, you have to do more upgrades for them than any other unit in the game. Of course, they are affected by bloodlines, they're affected by all of the blacksmith upgrades, they're affected by, of course, conscription, ballistics at the university, chemistry at the university, thumb ring at the archery range. There is so much to research to get those fully upgraded Mangs, and until they are fully upgraded, they can be a little bit subpar. So it's really important that these guys do upgrade their Mangudai as best they can, or as fast as they can as well. Of course, the elite upgrade there. Viper now just making some fish traps. Looks like his fish starting to run out, and at this stage it might be actually more worthwhile for him to make fish traps here and be close to his dock than travel back and forth, back and forth. There's the landing from Paladin. Getting super aggressive, well, not super aggressive, but getting a little bit aggressive here. Upgrades on these knights are +1 defense. And Viper, of course, he doesn't have fletching right now, and we could see fletching researched fairly soon just to help defend from these knights, because if these get +2 and Viper doesn't have fletching, it's going to make it infinitely more hard for him to actually defend against the knights coming in. So Paladin doing as I kind of actually thought he would with that landing. Some villagers coming across, siege workshops going down, and Viper's going to be under a bit of pressure here. He's going to have to react quickly. 2 monasteries going straight down to get conversions on these guys, and I imagine we'll see fletching reasonably soon. +2 on these knights right now, so a really good raiding force for Paladin, losing a few villagers, but also losing a few knights. Camels going down extremely quickly, and Viper forced to put this castle in a defensive position right now. Paladin taking the score lead, villagers falling very quickly for the Viper, and I think he was getting from there, just booming up. Rams are out for Paladin as well, and Viper made a couple of knights there. Fletching being researched, as I said, and we are going to see Viper losing a lot of villagers here. This is very messy for him. Thankfully, this castle is up. He's going to be able to defend this section of his economy, but this front bit, really, really bad looking here. These villagers are so low. Look at that, just dropping like flies. Thankfully, he does have these TCs up, and fletching now completed as well. So a little bit of extra attack on these town centres to help deal with the knights, but tanking up so much damage right there. Monk's coming out, so he's hoping to get these conversions in as quickly as he can, turn the tide of the battle around, and forced to make some Mangudai as well. This is a lot of pressure from Paladin. He's got a lot of knights in there, with bloodlines done also. And Viper could lose this TC here. Lots of rams coming in, and he really doesn't have that much to defend. This TC dropping very rapidly indeed, and this is not what Viper was hoping for. It also seems like Jordan's having a bit of trouble on the other side, and wow, very unexpected sort of turn of events right here, as Viper is quickly defending. Now, the thing with TyRanT is that they do perform well under pressure. Viper, of course, under a lot of pressure here. 1 TC dropping. The second could go down. There is so many rams and very little to actually defend with. Paladin with a very, very nice move indeed. Mangonel coming out for the Viper. Could go down. Well, that is gone. But trying to take out the Rams as quickly as he can with that. And it's just going to be a horrible situation for him now. Losing 2 TCs so quickly. Thankfully, Doubt is coming in. He's moving up with some barracks right here. He's got pikemen out, and he is going to try and save Viper's ass a bit. Thankfully, he can defend this area of his economy, but this castle could drop as well, as he really doesn't have anything at the moment to attack with. A couple of monks in here. And Viper's villagers dropping. This is really ugly, but really nice play. And Paladin's putting down a castle as well, and it's going to be a while before the Viper manages to take this area back. If this castle goes down as well, it's just going to open the door for Paladin to walk straight through, and this castle drops below health and villagers cannot stay in there. Fortunately, Doubt coming in, barracks going down, and wow, I was not expecting that to go so quickly. And so quickly wrong for the Viper there. Lots of pikemen coming in though, thankfully. Doubt is here to try and save the day. They, of course, are the ultimate counter to this. Well, best counter he can really offer. Doubt is up to Imp, so we could see Halberdier coming out fairly soon. And, of course, he is going to try and push this back, but this castle is going to prove problematic. I mean, if Paladin puts another castle down here, that's a lot of economy lost for the Viper. Thankfully now, he does have cartography, so we can see exactly what else is going on. Of course, Tim on the right side, pressuring with war galleys over here. Looks like Jordan's losing this, actually. He really doesn't have much. Of course, Tim with quite a lot of knights there. And wow, CKF doing really well here. Halberdier upgrade for Doubt done. Expected that one. And he is going to try and help out Viper. So heavily population blocked. And his score just absolutely dropping down right there. Mangadai coming out for Paladin as well. And, you know, if D slings into... Well, if he slings Paladin right now, Paladin can get up to Imp pretty quick. And that is going to be a real issue. Of course, these Mangadai counter the Halberdier very easily indeed. And if he gets enough of them out, then just Halberdier alone from Doubt is not going to be enough. I think Doubt should definitely go for Cataphract if this continues. The issue is, though, a bit of lag here. Hopefully I haven't dropped. And okay, yeah, just a big lag spike. That does happen. Viper, though, saving up to Imp, as you see. His score, well, his resources getting up, just up there. Gonna click up right now, and there's the second castle from Paladin. Absolutely going ham on this one. And, you know, these Mangadai are gonna be a real issue. And I think Doubt now moving in with these Halbs, but under the fire of this castle, they are gonna drop very quickly as well, with no defensive upgrades on them. And, you know, as I was saying, Cataphract, it could be a good idea, but I mean, it's not going to be the best. Mangadai will still beat Cataphract if they're massed up enough. Of course, Cataphract, not so great at dealing with Archer Fire. In terms of everything else, maybe a couple of Mangonels or Onagers would be helpful here, mixed in with the Halbs. But Doubt cannot expect to win this with pure trash. It will just not happen. Third castle for Paladin right now, and he is just gonna keep piling the pressure on. Viper is up to Imp though, and Doubt saying, I'll get Trebs, you make the Mangs. And I think this is probably, yeah, this is gonna work okay for them. Of course, they're playing at a disadvantage. They're gonna be playing this from behind. Paladin now up to Imp, so he has got the Imperial upgrade advantage over Viper right now. We can see traps coming out straight away. This castle could go down before Viper gets the chance to make the Mangadai. And that's the biggest problem right now. He needs those Mangadai in order to help defend this. As I said, the Halberdier on their own, not going to be enough. And those Mangadai need to come out. But he's going to be up to Imp too late, I think. Paladin going to have those traps out. 3 castles here. You're going to struggle to contend against that. A second going up for the Viper at the south here, which is at least some saving grace. A 4th castle from Paladin, and he is going huge right now. This is going to be so tough. There's the Mangonel from the Viper. It's not going to stand for long, and it's just resources lost. They've got to buy themselves some time here. Where are the trebuchets from Paladin though? Maybe he thinks he can do it with the Rams. Capped Ram researched. This, oh man, this castle gonna go down. And I don't think Viper has nearly enough villagers repairing this. Of course, Mangudai do have the attack bonus against siege. There's the trebs from Paladin. Viper, thankfully now up to Imperial. But this is tough. This is really, really tough. Castle, it drops. It's gonna drop. Viper's out of stone. Doubt paying the stone to Viper a little late there in the tribute, but this TC now open. Fortunately for Viper, he has got enough mangs here to stop the rams. But Elite Mangudai already done for Paladin right now. The sling clearly coming in from D, and D's economy must be in good shape right now. Of course, he's not having to make any military. He can literally just sling, sling, sling. Whereas Doubt in this situation, having to build economy and military. And the knights from Paladin getting in here as well, causing big damage to the trebs. And that is a problem. This castle going to drop as well. Viper down on castles. And that is a huge problem for him. That means no more Mangudai. And with 6 castles here, 6 from Paladin, what is Viper to do but run? And he is running. He is running. But is he going to get chased down? I feel so. I feel so. This is really bad for these guys. I mean, I could say it's really bad, but I think you guys could probably see that. Look at his population dropping right now. These villagers just suiciding to the Elite Mangudai. And Viper, what's happened? What has happened? Retreating back to Doubt's space. The issue here now is where's he going to build? Doubt is pretty much built all over here. Archery range is going down, and Byzantines, of course, do have pretty good arbalests. That is at least one of their fortes, and thankfully the Byzantine player is in the pocket position here. They do have a very, very fleshed out tech tree. And the tech tree of the Byzantines, of course, allows them to throw out more counters to what the enemy is doing. In this situation, he's going to build up to Arbalest. Maybe if he's not got the gold, he'll add in a lot of skirms as well. But hopefully then, for TyRanT right now, looking very ropey for the Viper, but I think they're hoping that Jordan can win the battle on the bottom here. Doubt, absolute legend right now, helping out with the Viper's eco, defending his eco. He's also got Galleon on the water, chasing down Tim's ships. Look, he's lost water over here, and these guys might just be able to push back now. In this situation, wall up here, wall here. Stop Paladin from advancing in. He's already started to upgrade Hussar, as you can see, light cavalry there. But stop Paladin from getting in. Focus down Tim, if they can, of course. Take Tim's base and sort of move around, because they don't have space at the moment. Viper's got very little room to actually build. Building up at the back right here, finding some land. But his economy, it's going to be so long before he gets it back up. Bear in mind, Paladin, D, Tim, they all have full economies right now. And wow, TyRanT though, they are going to fight it. Of course they're going to fight it. They are not going to be stopping in a hurry. The Viper's got a ton of resources here. He just needs to get some castles up, get the Mangudai out, and keep it going. But it's so hard to play from behind. But of course, they're not going to give it up. They're fighters, and they will play till the bitter end. But certainly an interesting turn of events for CKF right here. This wall going to go down, and I really don't think they walled this enough. He didn't upgrade that to fortified wall. And whoa, okay. There was a hole. Paladin's in. Elite Mangudai. +4 attack, +4 defense. And Doubt's eco here. May as well say GG at this stage, I feel. Oh man. Viper losing what little villages he has left as well. It's looking ugly. It's looking really ugly. And yeah, Doubt actually going with the skirms here. I thought he'd actually be struggling on gold, so yeah, skirms do make more sense for him, of course, to counter the Mangs, but even so, Mangudai, when they're massed up enough, they can deal with skirmishes pretty easily as well, to be honest with you. Fortunately, Jordan here with his Chuko Nu as well. Of course, +6 on them thanks to their upgrades, but it's so ugly. It is so ugly for TyRanT right now. Paladin, just look at his score. And he was on the flank. So I am very worried for these guys. These Magadai are going to be a big problem, killing a lot of villagers wherever they go. And if Paladin was to come back here, the losses for Doubt would be massive. He's already losing a lot as it is under the shelter of the TCs. Jordan does not have enough Chuko Nu here, I don't think, to deal with these Mangs. Of course, where's Paladin gonna go? That's the thing. Where is he gonna go? He's coming right down here. Viper's got another TC up here now. But that looks like it's on the way down as well. Villager's on the way down as well. And I think in this situation, I was just about to say Viper should probably give back some resources to Doubt or something. So building a market, of course he doesn't have one. That got taken down back here. And Viper, gonna have to get that market up. And he is gonna have to send that resource right back to Doubt. But look at this. Siege Rams coming in from Paladin. Starting to take out this from Doubt. And he's just unstoppable at this stage. He is unstoppable. These Magadai back here, picking up loads more kills as well. Unfortunately now for Paladin, a lot of Chuko Nu coming in. And I don't know how long he can really expect to keep these alive for in here. In the belly of the beast. But even so, doing huge damage regardless. And wow, MVP of this game by far. Paladin really showing an impressive performance right now. Wiping this out. And, you know, we can see that Doubt here is making a lot of skirms. If he switches to Hussar, he's going to save himself a bit of gold. Later on, he could maybe switch back to Magadai if he needs to. But if he goes to Hussar right now, spams them in here, he is going to, with the help of the Magadai, absolutely take this. Absolutely take this. Still no resignation from TyRanT though. They feel like they may have what it takes to bring this back. But do they? That is the question. It's going to be tough, but Doubt certainly doing the right thing here with these galleons, helping to defend this choke point with them. The skirms as well. The problem is he doesn't seem to be able to make them fast enough. Paladin getting taken out back here, finally. And I tell you what, if TyRanT come back from this would be the comeback of the century right here. If we have a look at the scores, we kind of get a little bit of a better idea about what's going on, slightly. We can see Doubt, of course, further behind Paladin right now. But Jordan is ahead of D. He's also ahead of Tim. And I kind of think that if they manage to deal with Paladin here, if they take him out, if they stop his advance, they might buy themselves enough time to get back into it. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see, but Doubt with this with these galleons here, I'm holding this choke for now. Doubt saying, "I guess it's over. We cannot stop this without our Mongol player." Viper's population up on 63. He's getting back into it slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. But even so, the Hussar upgrade is now done for Paladin. He's just coming forwards. No fear, no fear. But they are still holding this choke, actually. They're going to stop this castle going up. They will stop the castle, I'm sure of it. And if they could just counter these onagers, this is probably the biggest issue they've got. They need to take out the onagers. They're going to do mad damage to the ships, to everything that's here. They need to take them out quickly. Kind of getting there. Doubt's elite cannon galleons, good choice yet again. Doubt doing a really good job here of actually defending this and holding them off. Can use these to start taking out the castles. What's going on down in the south? Well, Tim walling up and not really any idea what he's actually doing. But if they can defend against this, it would be huge for them. The Viper building back up, as I said, 75 population now, starting to get back to where he was. And it looks like Jordan might start making a few more camels. I'm not really sure. And he's gone up to light cav right now. And if they can take this center area, maybe they would be able to get some more land, push back. But surprisingly, managing to actually defend from Paladin's push, and that was quite impressive, I've got to say. I mean, Paladin, kudos to him, actually wiping out the Viper so quickly, so effectively. But falling down at sort of the last hurdle here, as Doubt defends this choke point very nicely indeed, with the help of Jordan, of course. Not much coming on in the bottom, and I think this is a bit of an issue for them. We don't really know what's up with Tim right now. I've got a feeling he's not doing the best. judging by his score and the fact that he's not really doing that much. But all of TyRanT's military right now is up in the north. They know that. They've seen the amount of units that Jordan has up here. And if they were to attack on this side and wipe through Jordan's base, well, that could prove problematic for them. They could start to push through. We'll have to wait and see, of course. But the Mongol player, Paladin, really useful here for his team. Great credit to team. I don't think he can do it 2v1, though. That's the issue now. I don't think he can do it 2v1. Jordan massed Chukonu like crazy. And he, of course, is going to be... I think he's going to try and push into here if he can. Of course, a bit of a problem for him. D with the galleons on the right. And, of course, kind of hard to get around there. With the siege onagers here as well, that's also a problem. And now, Doubt massing his skirmishers up. Keeping on top of his galleon production. And there we go, yeah. At the bottom, Tim going to make a push right now. Massed galleons up right here. But Jordan making a push too. Tim with cataphracts, not elite, light cavalry too. Should be able to deal with this pretty effectively. And Jordan, of course, forced to respond to this. They may lose Warder here. Wow, narrowly escaping with those villages. What else is going on right here? Looks like Paladin's starting to push things back in the north as well. Doubt really lacking army right now. With the help of the siege onagers and the hussars. This choke point is eventually going to get pushed. Viper saying GG. He resigns. Doubt resigns as well. And CKF take the first game in the semi-finals for the Medieval Wars. And what a game that was. Paladin, as I said, just excellent play by him. They had trade up as well. A really good trade, actually. But Jesus. That was a really nice game. Really nice game. And what a way to start.